Illan Meslier is being linked to Arsenal, Jules. Does this mean Kepa's on his way out?
Yeah, I think so. I think Illan Meslier is pretty much done with Arsenal as a backup goalkeeper to David Raya. He was a free agent after leaving Leeds United, where the end of his time there was obviously not as good. Kepa is going to leave as well Arsenal now and find another club. I like Meslier as a backup to Raya, certainly in terms of distribution. He's a good level. For the rest, I know he hasn't played much, and I know he lost a lot of confidence before with some mistakes. But I'm not against this deal at all as a free agent.
And you still have Tommy Sepford, of course, lying around.
Of course.
But I think, just a word on Kepa, it was obvious to me that he went there, he did his job as a number 2. He was only going to get regular playing time if David Raya imploded. Instead, he had the best season of his career. Kepa got to win the title. But I like the fact that Kepa's saying, you know what, I don't want to be Raymond van der Gaal. I am Kepa. I was one of the best keepers in the world. I was one of the most expensive keepers in the world at one time. I want to go somewhere else and show it.
And more keepers, Gab. Juventus have reportedly met the agent of Emiliano Martinez.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, they could go meet anybody for a cup of coffee. They're way, way in the hole. I know that there's this Di Gregorio situation, but they need to really take hold. Cannavaro needs to take hold of this team because it feels like there's different moving parts, moving in different directions. You have a situation with Jonathan David now where he apparently wants to stay, but Spalletti doesn't want him to stay. Obviously, Vlahovic, free agent on the market now. Suggestions bring him back. Dibu Martinez is a very good goalkeeper. He would be an obvious, huge upgrade over Di Gregorio. But he would also be very expensive. And you want to commit that kind of money to a goalkeeper who now, he's not old, but he's not young anymore. If I'm Dibu Martinez, I would be looking for a team that, can go and do something important right now. Fulham have officially appointed Álvaro Arbeloa as their new manager, Jules. I don't get this at all. I'll let you handle it.
No, I mean, I don't know if we just have to look at what he did at Real Madrid, and that didn't really go that well. Although, as we said, for example, after the games even against Bayern Munich, there were some interesting things tactically that he put in place and that the players did. So I think it'd be very interesting to see. His first game will be against Chelsea and Xabi Alonso. So him, who was his best friend before, and and replaced him, things like that, might be interesting. Certainly in them starting their Premier League career as head coaches, managers against each other. But I want to give him some time and see what he's got in mind for this Fulham team.
You give him time. I'm not convinced.
Meanwhile, your boy, Mr. Marinakis, has gotten his man, Oliver Glasner, to Nottingham Forest. Now it's official. We mentioned it a few shows ago. And strangely, there's no mention of his previous clubs, Glasner's previous clubs, in the club statement.
Oh, this is such lovely, lovely trolling. I think the statement was 574 words. It was all about Oliver Glasner. And there's no mention about the fact that he won the FA Cup with Crystal Palace and he won the Conference League with Crystal Palace as well. As you know, Mr. Marinakis does not like Crystal Palace. He does not like, presumably, Steve Parish, Paris, Blitzer. The only bit of Crystal Palace he liked was his friend John Textor, but of course, he's long gone now. I don't know. I kind of feel, what will we do without Mr. Marinakis? Bruno Guimaraes is being linked to Arsenal, just as Newcastle bring in central midfielder Ajax's Sean Steuer for 25 million euros. Jules, I suspect these two are linked.
Yeah, probably Guimaraes wants to leave and go to Arsenal. He made that very clear to the club. I think there have been a couple of verbal offers from Arsenal to Newcastle, and they probably will meet somewhere and find an agreement around the 65 million euros, which I think is decent money from Newcastle for, 28-year-olds. Then we can discuss, once it's official, what Arsenal gained by getting Bruno Guimaraes. And for sure, he's very promising. He was very promising last season with Ajax. He's maybe a little bit young, and let's see how that works with Eddie Howe and some of the other young signings that they make, because this could turn into a very young Newcastle team, which I'm not sure is what they need right now. But I like the signing because I think he's got high potential.
Hey, there's no question Newcastle have gone full on Moneyball, moving early and moving decisively.
Zlatko Dalic is out as the head coach for Croatia after 9 years. Gab, I think it's fair to say that he had a very successful run.
Do you reckon?
Great.
He's done a tremendous job. There was a lot of questions about him because of his CV, because of the circumstances of him taking over the job. He's proven everybody wrong. We can say, we look at Croatia. Oh, look, all these good old players, and they grew together, and going back to the day. Early on it was Mandzukic, obviously Perisic and Modric are still there.
Yeah.
All these guys. But you know what? It's not always easy to manage when you're kind of, with all due respect, you're kind of Mr. No Name, and you have to win them over. And then you have to start integrating the youngsters who come through, like Josip Verdol. And I think Croatia have shown what a small country can do. Small country, by the way, that produces ridiculous athletes in many sports year after year. He leaves with his head held high. I don't see him working in club management.
I think it's hard after 9 years as international coach.
I think he did this thing. And if he does retire, go and enjoy your retirement, Flacco. You've earned it. Ipswich Town gets some help up front, Jules. Emerson is on his way from Toulouse for around 25 million euros.
Yeah, with a few bonuses as well on top of that. It's quite an interesting call by Ipswich here, because we've seen him in Liga a lot last season and kind of blowing hot and cold, really. I think there's potential there, certainly in terms of the pace and the physicality, the finishing. There's work to be done here. Maybe they saw something that I didn't see, not so much in him, because I can see the potential, but certainly for that amount of money, I think this would become Toulouse's biggest sell ever, which, again, I don't think they saw it coming themselves, but they very much welcome the offer, and I wish him good luck in the Premier League. Mason Greenwood has agreed terms with Fenerbahce, who's also agreed terms with Marseille, but Atletico Madrid also want him. Where would you go if you were him?
I would go to Atletico Madrid,
Okay.
frankly, 100%. It's not a knock on Fenerbahce. I think this is going to be a good measure of his ambition. I think maybe the reason not to go to Atletico Madrid is I think obviously his past is going to be much more of an issue at Atletico Madrid maybe than it would be at Fenerbahce. And I'm not dealing in stereotypes. I'm dealing with some things that have happened in the past. But I find it remarkable. I thought he was going to be the big ticket item that resolved all of Marseille's financial problems.
The price is
this fee's not going to do that.
It's 42 million euros. 12 million of that will go to Manchester United because they had percentages on the sell. So it's 30 million for Marseille.
They still need to sell again, right, Jules?
Yeah, probably. Although with the amortization, they will still make money on Greenwood. But yeah, it's not really exactly what they wanted.
All right, Jules. This brings us to the end of this segment. But remember, you can go and check out ESPN FC 7 nights a week. Check your local listings and catch up with Craig Burley, Ali Moreno, Stevie Nicol, Shaka Hislop, and the rest of your favorite pundits. The Gab and Jules Show is presented by Gusto. Jules, we're not done. We got more quick hits.
Yes.
Celeste Maria is a Paraguayan senator who had a right go at Kylian Mbappe in a very ugly way. Jules, he answered back, then she answered back, then things got out of hand. I could have done without this.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't even know where to start. I don't want to repeat any of the racial abuse that she sent on social media towards Kylian. I guess for his attitude during the France-Paraguay game in the round of 16, maybe not shaking Orlando Gil's hand at the end. I don't know why, but nothing should have allowed her or would justify the word that she used to qualify Kylian Mbappe. Racist, absolute racial abuse that has no room, not just in football, but in the whole world. And for her to then not just double up, but treble up, even today at the Senate, because she's a senator, to call him a son of a, you know what, and everything, I find it so appalling that I really hope, but it doesn't seem like it, but I hope that Paraguay, as a country, take the right decision towards her. But again, I don't think they will.
Well, I would imagine there are rules and laws against the kind of language that she used. She had a bit of a climb back. She said she went to a French-speaking school. She wrote a long thing. Jules, I kind of feel like until 4 or 5 days ago, I had never heard of this person, and my life was better of it. And now it seems like she's getting this incredible publicity on the back of Kylian Mbappe. And he's replied to her once. I think he was justified in doing so. I think it was necessary to do so. I don't think he's going to reply to her again, and I think it's the right decision.
Yeah. I mean, the least we talk about her, the better anyway.